nga nanukan din sa Sunburst Fried Chicken, ground floor, Kabila Hotel 1, hinggang bayan sa Dipolog. Ang atong official video sa atong public affairs program, every Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning, up to 11 o'clock in the morning, dili sa atong official video ang Sunburst Fried Chicken, ground floor, Kabila Hotel 1, hinggang bayan sa Dipolog. It's already April 12, 2015. Dahil na kayong panahon, time goes by, time flies by. Dayon kita, ani agapon sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog, nagsirbisyo sa atong mga katauhan sa atong public affairs program. The only public affairs program here in Dipolog City, Kapihan City, and the entire province of Zamboanga del Norte. Karong buntaga, atong ikalipay nga misanong sa ato ang imbitasyon ang ato ang mga bisita dinhi sa lalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte. Mag-isgot kita sa ato ang kahapsay, kalinaw, sa ato ang dapit, ug ingon man doon tayo instant guest, no? Nananawag na ito gabi nga Diyos, salamat na ka kay di ko gusto nga manosbleed ko ani ron. Kay ang ato ang amigo na to na American surgeon, no? From the USA nga nag-conduct free operation, no? Sa mga bugin, sa mga bata. Gusto nga ato na suki church kada tuig na siya napo na siya sa itong kapihan sa Dipolog. Ikatulong na rin sa interview niya. So ato lang i-add sa itong mga bisita karong buntaga kay murag bibo atong discussion karon. So hopefully ang atong mga suki nga tigpaminaw ingon man atong viewers all over the world sa itong live streaming www.irmndipolog.tv.com. Musunod ka nato kanunay o ingon man katong dili maka live streaming nato mo lantaw lang mo click lang sa Kapihan sa Dipolog sa atong YouTube naniha tanan natong edition sa atong Kapihan sa Dipolog kauban sa atong mga guest patag Domingo nga tanan. So kini si Edith Pahintito mo ang inyong regular anchor and host sa Kapihan sa Dipolog mag-ikauban sa ninyo sunod sa duha ka takna nga tulumanon hangtod kaninyo sa EPT Media Services. Pinaagi sa kahimanan sa Radio Mindanao Network, simultaneous broadcast sa DXDR o IFM o ingon man sa ato ang live streaming www.irmndipolog.tv.com. Daghang salamat sa ato ang IT Director, Silver, Adriatico Duduyano nga may nagdala sa atong live streaming. Daghang ingon man sa atong YouTube. Daghang salamat sa atong Tax Ilumba nga may nagdala sa atong tingog sa kaninan sa duha ka radyo nga istasyon. O ingon man dito sa istasyon nato sa Torno ang tuwa dito si Dani Luod nga mo imuon o buong sa ato ang tuluan ng Public Affairs Program ng Kapihan sa Dipolog sa ngalan sa atong station manager nga si Mr. Mel Coronel. So thank you so much. Kung ingon man karong buntaga, atong ipaabot ang atong mga panelists sa atong Kapihan sa Dipolog. Hopefully, on the family na to silang tanan. Ako i-enumerate si Edgar Soronda, si Consihal Robert Ligorio, kay si Pons Roda, ato manager sa PIA, tuwa sa Divine Mercy, no, sa Sindangan ng siguro na, no? Si former Congressman Atty. Rosinier Matong Barinaga, atong paminuwi na to, si Boyfriend Remilio Boy Lee, kita pa naman ako ma-mention. Of course, anihan na to, kauda na na to, atong ikamingawan na panelist na CPA ikan sa Department of Trade and Industry na si Mr. Julius Salaveria. Si Charles, ako kanyang knowledge, ako kananang pag-ipag-with on air karon ngayon ang tulitas commercials. Ayan na po yung knowledge sa atong mga guests karong buntaga. Jules, go ahead please.
Okay, short lang. May buntag sa tanan sa atong mga tigsunod sa Kapihan sa Dipolog. Naanak ko, nabalik ko din kay mawala ko sa bulan sa May. Okay, thank you.
Pero ang ato ang NGCP Media Tour, tuloy-tuloy na karong Friday. Magsabot na after the program. Okay, so dagan kayo salamat. Mintras tanto atong ipabalo rin nga niya na atong mga bisita gikan sa Philippine National Police o ingon man sa atong Armed Forces of the Philippines sa Philippine Armies nga nagadasi sa 101 Brigade. Dahil atong ipabot rin si Dr. Geoff Williams sa Children's International Foundation, no? O kauban niya ang past president sa Rotary Club of Dipolog na si Mr. Lindon Sidria. And then of course, ato walang pasalamatan ang atong mga sponsors na may nagdala o kinabuhi sa itong tulumanon, Kapihan sa Dipolog, matang Domingo nga tanan. Okay, so, thank you so much. Atong dakong pagpasalamat ngadto sa Janus Marketing. Ang Janus Marketing na maligya sa lain nga mga spare parts sa mga sakyanan sama sa Isuzu, Nissan, Suzuki, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Suzuki, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, o guban pa sa ubos lamang nga presyo. Mao kada ang Janus Marketing nga nahimutang sa Quezon Avenue, hinggang bayan sa Dipolog. Matawag sa telephone number 212-1148 nga di pa nagiyahan ni Honorable Konsihal Janus Yu. Daghang usab nga salamat ngadto kang Honorable Serena Olvis Angeles, ang atong Vice Governor, ang presiding officer sa Sangguniang Panalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte, and also to the presiding officer for Tempor, Honorable Julius C. Napiket, ang atuang Sangguniang Panalawigan member sa Zamboanga del Norte. Of course, thank you so much ngadto sa pinakapugihan usab na chairman sa Committee on Finance and Appropriations sa Sangguniang Panalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte, na si Honorable Romulo P. Soliva. Thank you so much ngadto kang Honorable Jasmine Pinsoy, ang atong City Councilor, the only lady lawmaker sa Sangguniang Panlungsod sa Dakbayan sa Dipolog. And of course, ngadto kang Attorney General Jojo Napikit, ang mag-iitan na abogado o City Councilor sa Sangguniang Panlungsod sa Dakbayan sa Dipolog. Thank you so much ngadto kang Mr. Nelson Velasco, ang atong Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Officer from Pedro, na nagbase sa Santa Isabel, Dakbayan sa Dipolog. Next Sunday po, April 19, ang si Pedro Nelson Velasco, Senro Geoffrey Zayas, si Senro Mario Reyes, o si Mario Reyes sa Dapitan, o ingon man si Atty. Norberto Dinura, mga tumamahimong bisita karong Domingo po, April 19. So, na Domingo po, sa itong Kapihan sa Dipolog, advance information na confirm na silang tanan. We will talk about environment also. And thank you so much ngadto kang Senro Geoffrey Sayas, Senro Dipolog City sa DNR, o ingon ka Mr. Muhammad Gassan Adju, Provincial Agrarian Reform Project Officer 2, Department of Agrarian Reform, Santa Isabel, Dipolog City. Thank you so much ngadto kang sa Alphabet Sun and Gravel Supply, dealers of Sun and Gravel, Balas and Graba, Filling Materials, Soil and Clay, o Hollow Blocks. For rent ang ilang concrete mixer and concrete vibrator. Contact Engineer Bon Barrera sa Barangay Torno ng Dakbayan sa Dipolog, or call or text, call or na, 212-3266, o text sa cellphone number 09209253-749. Baka na ang Alphabet Sun and Gravel Supply na ipanagyahan ni Engineer Bon Barrera diya sa Barangay Torno ng Dakbayan sa Dipolog. Thank you so much ngadto sa atong mga panelists, si Honorable Emilio Dili, Board Member, 2nd District sa Zamboanga del Norte, President, Regional Board Members League of the Philippines, Dili Legsa. Panelist, Kapihan sa Dipolog, o ikaw si Honorable Robert B. Gregorio, City Councilor sa Bayang Balungsod sa Dakbayan sa Dipolog. And then of course, thank you so much sa ato ang umaabot na host sa ato ang familiarization tour. It's gonna be this coming Friday, April 17 and 18, na ang National Green Corporation of the Philippines. Pinaagi ka, Elizabeth Bichay Ladaga, Corporate Communications Affairs Officer in GCP Cagayan de Oro City. Matod pa sa NGCP, a message of concern from the NGCP, dili magtaon o magbutang sa inyong antina sa telebisyon o radyo hadoon o ilawom sa transmission lines aron dili makuryentihan. Dili po magpalupad o tabanog kay panahon summer season, para sa itong mga kaigsunan niya, labi na katong na mga kabataan, dili magpalupad o tabanog hadoon o ilawom sa transmission lines kay kung masalit ang kanini ang tabanog, dayon mo short circuit na itong kurinti, mga bawang ang tanan, gawan ka makurintihan din yung simba ko at magpalipad sa tabanog. So, this is a message of concern from the National Green Corporation of the Philippines called NGCP. Stay safe. Of Of course, daghang salamat na to sa J&P Fruit Nursery and Lumber Dealer, sells fruit seedlings at a very reasonable price. Thank you, Joey. Fruit Nursery located sa Barangay Lingasan, Pulanco, sa Buanga del Norte, sells lumbers. Ang J&P, okay. Wala siya. Lumber Yard located sa Barangay Galas, Dipolog City. Proprietor niya si Mr. Porterio Cesario. Thank you so much. Nagtotang Mrs. Natividad P. Bayubay, CISO 6, OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent, Department of Education sa Buanga del Norte. Of course, mag-greet ko sa akong guwapang agawis nga si Assistant Provincial Schools Division Superintendent Lorma Pukulan. Congratulations sa iyong anak na si cum laude graduate Bachelor of Law sa ABC. Kauban ni Merine Abilio sa PIA, no? So, thank you so much, no? Baka rin si Ma'am Lorna Pukulan sa Katipunan National High School kay doon ay English Proficiency Test, no? Ang DepEd, ipahigayon dito sa Katipunan National High School. So, good luck ninyo diha sa Department of Education. And of course, last but not the least, daghan kayong salamat kay kini siya kanunay ning sunod sa atong YouTube, sa atong live streaming, si Mr. Henry Chanero, Labor Attaché 1, Department of Labor and Employment, Philippine Consulate, Hong Kong. Thank you so much, Sir Henry Chanero, sa atong sponsors kanunay sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog, matang Domingo nga tanan. Dahil mo greet po ko ni Jennifer Agustin King sa iyang husband na si Roger William King sa Northern Ireland. Oma County, Northern Ireland. Si Erlinda Nonag sa Chicago, USA. Si Elizabeth, si Lady sa Saudi. So, thank you so much. Mga kato ang mga atong ipag-greet. Ay, of course, si Mr. Vicente Chanson, no? O si Ma'am Molina Chanson, diya sa Molina's Pension House, atong suki, ina, forever na itong suki sa itong kapihan sa Dipolog River sa New Jersey, USA, Orbe, sa Lapitan City. So, salamat kaayo na sila cottage dito, among ipahimuslan ang sa Easter Sunday. So, Mr. Mrs. Vicente and Monena Changson, thank you so much diya sa Molina's Pension House, Lapitan City. Okay, so, let's proceed with our program. Ang kapihan sa Dipolog, ating acknowledge sila ang pag-iabot sa ato ang panelist na si Board Member Ronilio Lee. Good morning and welcome to kapihan sa Dipolog. Wait na ka.
Ako naman daw natin. Good morning lang sa tanan. O may pasyenta sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog.
Okay, thank you so much. Dayon, ating acknowledge sila first and foremost ang pag-iabot sa ato ang gikan sa Philippine National Police, no, ang atong OIC Provincial Director nga si OIC PD Ritosto. O ingon man si Captain Ryan Brazal sa 101 Brigade, Philippine Army, nga nagbase sa Del Pilar Pinyan, dayon siguro Police Inspector, Chief Inspector Das Marinas. Okay. Acknowledge lang na later on ni Mr. Okay, kayo. Di pa matugod na ito maila tayo. Of course, si Mr. Ligon Sidian na itong past president sa Rotary Club of Dipolog. And of course, we have our special guest this morning, Dr. Geoff Williams, an American surgeon all the way from the United States of America. Muna sila nagpahigayon sa libre nga pagpang-opera sa ato ang mga kabataan nga kanong bungin, no? So, daghang kayong salamat. Kini siya, tinawag yun siya nga missionary of God. Kay libre yun ang tanan. Iya pag yung giari diri, ikan sa ila sa Amerika, pahingang yun siya diri sa Pilipinas. Of all the places iyang napili, ang sa Buanga del Norte, Dipolog City. So, thank you so much. God be with you always. So, ating acknowledge sila, no? Ang ato ang mga guests. Of course, palihog ko sa microphone, sir. Of course, we would like to acknowledge si Dr. Geoff Williams. Dr. Boone, and welcome back to Kapihan sa Dipolog. How are you?
Good morning, Edith. Thank you for that welcome. I'm fine. I'm ready for the day to start. We're a little tired, but it's great to be here.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Pastilan, mag-sleep to go ron. Of course, ang atong past president sa Rotary Club of Dipolog, Mr. Lyndon Sidian. Sir, good morning and welcome back to Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Thank you, Edith. It's a pleasure to be here again. We're bringing our guests from Boise, Idaho,
They just completed their mission in Dipolog. They had 55 patients, and this mission is kind of unique because we have a part 1 and a part 2. They were here March 9 to 25, and then they came back again last week. So just to complete the patients who were on the list but they were not able to do last March.
Yes, thank you so much. Dayon, akong yakari sa paglabot ato ang panelist na si Consuelo Robert Ligorio. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Thank you dito sa atong bisita kay buntag o ginagpunta na magiguban kamo sa nakatakdan. Ano sa? Sige. Sige, Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Dayon, of course, ang ato ang OIC na Provincial Director. Ayaw ko sa mga balik si PD Ritos. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Yes, good morning. It's my first time to be here at Kapihan sa Dipolog. Finally, I was able to come. Together with me is my operation officer, Chief Inspector Dasmariñas. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning sa tanan na taga-sunod ng programa at sa mga residente sa Zamboanga del Norte.
Thank you so much, and of course, Captain Ryan Braza from 101 Brigade.
May buntag sa tanan na pasalamat namin ko nga usa kami sa giimbitan ni programa sa Kapihan sa Dipolog.
Okay, thank you so much. Gentlemen, ako una na to si Dr. Geoff Williams. Okay ra ninyo? From the military and the police. Okay? Okay, so, we'd like to ask Dr. Geoff Williams, why is it that you keep coming on Dipolog City and in Zamboanga del Norte to help the children, our local children?
Well, we keep on coming. Every year we have to evaluate whether we need to come back. And every year here, there is such a large number of patients that we feel obligated to come back. For some reason, there's an extra large number of patients right here in this region that have cleft lips and palates. So that's why we come back year after year. And this year is like several other years where we had so many patients come that we had to have a small follow-up mission. So the main reason we come is we see the needs, we see the defects they have, we see that they can't speak properly, and our hearts are touched, and we feel that we can't desert them. We just have to keep coming back and helping. So
aren't you bored with your job, especially in operating on children, because you are not doing it for a fee, but instead it's for free. So the funds, where does it come from?
Well, I started a foundation that helps, and we, of course, the Rotarians here have provided a lot of material support to us that decreases our costs, and they've actually paid a lot of money out of pocket for the mission too. And of course, the governor helps, Governor Dewey. So us together, the governor, the Rotarians, and us pool the funds for the completion of the mission, and it works really well, and all the surgeries are free.
Yeah, okay. So our panelist, Board Member Ronilio Boyle, he's a lawmaker in our provincial council. He will ask questions to Dr. Williams or to...
No, the Rotary Club is one of the prime clubs here, not only in the Dipolog but in the entire country or in the world. Kung tanang ako ni akong amigo Barry Lindon, kung exclusive ka ba ng clip or Operation Smile mo na, di ba? Rotary Smile, exclusive ka ba rin sa Dipolog na project? yun eh, nationwide yun eh.
I think Dr. Williams can probably explain what other mission you do outside Dipolog.
Yeah, that's a good question. We also do yearly missions in Negros Occidental, specifically Cabandalan and Cadiz. And we do missions in Cebu and also Ozamas. And we're currently looking at some other locations. So we do about an average of about 6 missions a year in the Philippines, but we also do missions in Vietnam and in Central and South America too.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Another question, follow-up question.
I don't know how to interpret this in English, in bullying it out. Is it,
Yes, tama.
hindi, palit din mo sila
Yes.
the lips, left lips. So is it, this will include the lip, palit?
Well, this defect has many different varieties in ways that it can appear. Sometimes there's only a cleft lip. Sometimes there's also that one patient with a cleft lip also has a cleft palate, a hole in a split in the middle of the palate. And some patients, not very many, have a normal face, a normal lip, but they have a cleft palate and they can't talk correctly. So, kind of 3 variations.
Okay, thank you so much. Councilor Ruben Ligorio, do you have any question, please? Go
I am
ahead.
proud to tell you that I have been a member of the Rotary ever since, no? Although I informally filed my leave of absence. Even, I think I became a Rotarian in 1975. So, I am proud to be a Rotarian because once a Rotarian, always a Rotarian. My question is, I have neighbors there in Binyan whose children, 3 or 4 children, only have been operated, but they have difficulty in speaking. Perhaps the gum, no, will not operated. Would it be possible that even if they are already grown up, the other one is already about 24 and the other one is 30, could still be operated and restore their difficulty in talking?
Okay, well, this brings up a really good point that I wanted to mention, and that is we bring with us, every time we come to Dipolog, we bring a team of speech therapists. This year we had 3, 1 year we had 4. These people are experts at taking a patient who's had a cleft palate repair and literally teaching them how to speak normally. So when you see a patient that's had a cleft palate repair, chances are they will not speak normally unless they've had this speech therapy. We think this is so valuable, and that's why we bring these people, is to help these people that have had cleft palate surgery learn how to speak normally. Now there is a problem that the longer the patient waits to have the surgery, the palate surgery, we've found that older teenagers, if we're operating on the palate the first time, when they're an older teenager, that the surgery doesn't work well for speech, and even the speech therapists have a hard time helping them to speak. So if somebody has a cleft palate, we really need to operate on them much younger. Age 2 is the best age. And for the cleft lip, we operate even earlier, age 3 months. So we need to start getting these patients earlier and sooner in their lives.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Is it possible that when all the cleft deformities, children with cleft deformities here in our province are already cured by, of course, by your help, and then other places will come here to avail of your services? Is that possible?
Do you mean other patients would come here to Dipolog?
Yeah, from other places.
Well,
Avail of your services. Maybe next year, is it possible? Because they will hear it from the media that you are operating free of charge here in Dipolog City every year, and then some other patients from other places, other provinces will hear it, and then they would like to avail of your free services next year. Is it possible?
Well, I would say it's possible, but maybe it's better for us to not only go here, but go to some other surrounding provinces. Yeah, because I know that the local governors and the local officials only have a certain amount of money and funds and resources, and they probably prefer to treat people in their own province. That each province is kind of responsible for their own people, but we would be open to going also to other provinces and doing talent missions there too.
I think we can hear before now is through the coordination with the Dipolog. So I think some other people from other places will not just come here and develop this business without first seeking coordination with the Dipolog. Is that it, Limot?
Actually, one of the biggest challenge for the Rotary Club of Dipolog is to enlist the patient for Dr. Williams. And the challenge comes from the poverty, because many of the patients who come from really far-flung barangays, they don't have money to come to here. And fortunately, although Rotary spend about 3,000 pesos per child for the mission, and I think Dr. Williams spent about $250 per child for the mission, and local government probably spend a few thousand also. So all this money together will result in a very successful mission. But we are so lucky because ICSF have funding to pay for the transportation for the children, because it also costs a lot. Like a child from Ipil or Labason coming here, they have to have a guardian coming with them. So it costs about 1,000 pesos per patient with a guardian. So for many folks, it's really very high. So ICSF pays for that. So we're so lucky also to have a free transportation just to have them operated. So it's like a total free package for the patient.
So it clears now that is clearly that people from other places cannot just come here and automatically seek medical attention, because we have to coordinate with the Rotary Club, because it is the club that will assess the papers.
Yeah.
Because every patient, I think, will spend more than thousands, only for free, no? So, if, for example, people from April or from Pagadian just come here about 10 or 20, who will spend for their coming? So, let's do this matter that this, I think, this medical mission is dependent on the coordination of this Dipolog.
I think that local government really is a big factor, because, for example, if we have a patient who lives in the barangay somewhere in Sindangan, and they need to come here, but we cannot send the money to them. So what we do is we contact the barangay captain, ask the barangay captain to fund the transportation, and we will refund the transportation. So the help of the local government is really big, you know. And even the biggest challenge is to inform the patients, you know, that how do we get to find this patient? And that's why it comes in, other radio, flyers, you know, we contact the barangay captain. There's a lot of work behind the scene also that comes to bring a successful mission.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Linden Senior. Last State of the Province address of the Governor, March 30, you were there personally, and you were officially acknowledged during the State of the Province address of Governor Roberto Y. Uy. How does it feel? Is it very much, how do we say it? Are you happy with what you are doing with humanitarian efforts, especially here in our province?
Yes, I was, when we saw Governor Dewey flash up the name of ICSF and the number of patients we did, along with Rotarians, we've never had that happen before. It's been never recognized to that level. And it just illustrates what a wonderful Governor Dewey is, and it illustrates how everybody came together and really helped out. But my feelings are, you asked earlier, what happens when you take care of all the patients here, and then we get, well, I don't think we have to worry about that for quite a long time. We already, from this mission, we have 25 patients already waiting for surgery next year. Many of them are cleft lip patients who now need cleft palate surgery, and we told them next year you need to come, and they want to come. And we've already heard of several other children, even just a few short days, that have cleft lips who we couldn't get to who want to come next year. So I think it'll be a long time before we have to worry about that nice time when everybody here is taken care of, because every year new children are born with this problem, and there are no real cures for cleft lip and palate. Livin suggested trying to develop some kind of a vaccine for cleft lip and palate, and that sounded like a good idea, but that's way off in the future, way off. Right now, we're here to take care of these kids free, and we do really good work. We question these kids about how they're doing in school. Are they being bullied? Are they being teased? And we're finding that the large majority of them, now that they have their surgeries, are being accepted. They're not being bullied or teased. And we had one boy, I had to tell this, 2 years ago we did his cleft lip surgery in a 5-hour surgery. It was a 2-sided complicated case, but we got a good result. Last year we did the cleft palate, and this year he saw our speech therapy team, and he was able to speak so normally that he was thrilled. And during that mission, he decided that he wanted to have a career as a national policeman.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope and pray to God that you will continue your charitable works here in our province. So you just relax there, and we'll go proceed with our other guests also.
Thank you.
With your permission. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe Williams.
Last na unang pumunta ni Lyndon kay gawa sa ilang Rotarian Smile naman sila ng hatag sa wheelchairs.
Cheers.
Unang aming hangin nga malaptikan ng taon niya kay aron okay na may makita na mo ng mga kuwan sa kabutiran kay usually inyong alaga po sorry sa kabutiran ay makita na mga luoy kayo. Naka-istorya namin ng Joshua na kung may mo Diyos mulayo pang politika, eleksyon hatag na mo kayo, otherwise kasi mapasingilan ako ng mga politika. So, para to avoid this, mo identify lang is recipient. Kami ay bahala. Kaya ako ang ginatawag pongkolyo, mga polyo.
I think we still have a few wheelchairs left, and what you can do is just submit the paperwork, the recipient. All we need is the recipient, and then if he or she came from different faraway places, then we will ask your help to deliver the wheelchair.
Okay, last question coming from Julia Salaveria.
First, before the question, I would like to extend on behalf of the families of those who are recipients of your mission of the Rotary Smile, daghang salamat sa inyong pag-ari. But I think ang ating mga listeners, mga tanang, kinsa po na si Mr. Geoff Williams. So my question would be addressed to Mr. Lyndon C. Jeff here para mahibalang sa uban nga kung sa kanang kita ng doktora, kung sa po niya ang profile nga naman ay siyang maayo at sa kalainan siya maservisyo. And then nagpangutan ako dire, wala na doon kaganina ng kay Mr. C. Jeff. Gikan ato nga first batch nila sa mga recipients, kumusta naman po ang ilang pagdala sa programa ng Rotary Smile?
Okay, Mr. Lyndon C. Jeff.
I know a little about Jeff, but I cannot say I know everything about him. But I would say he's probably one of the best plastic surgeon that we can find, and he specializes at cleft and palate. In fact, he told us that, I practiced plastic surgery many years ago, but that was a long time. I kind of forget what other plastic surgery means except doing cleft and palate. So we could say he's the master now of the cleft and palate surgery, because he probably did more than 3,000, no, 2 to 3,000, somewhere there, 2 to 3,000, and he's still doing research on the best practice, and maybe one day you can see his book. That one day he's going to publish a book. Dr. Williams is a graduate of I think Texas University for his medicine and his plastic surgery. I think he can probably speak for us better than I about your credentials.
Dr. John Williams, please, I know you are very humble, but will you please explain to us your personal information credentials, especially to our listeners in the radio?
Well, I attended medical school at the University of Utah in the United States. I did general surgery training at the University of Utah and also Vanderbilt University. I did my plastic surgery training at the University of Texas in Galveston. And then I went on to do more training in cleft lip and palate, specifically at Stanford University in the United States, and also some time in Taiwan. And then I was on the faculty, the teaching faculty at the University of Texas for 5 years.
And I think Dr. Williams can continue how he decided to be a full-time missionary doctor. He can share it to us.
Well, yeah, at one point, I decided when I could see the need in the developing world, I just thought this would be a good place for me to spend my professional life is out here. And it's really, to me, a privilege to come and find these poor children. Normally, they might receive very fast surgeries. And then the doctors might leave right after the surgery. For us to stay and give them a several-hour surgery and then to stay and watch their healing, to know that we're giving them the highest level of care even though they're poor, it just is really gratifying to be able to do that and see the smiles on the faces of the parents. The kids don't smile at us. They sometimes just want to go home, but the parents are always very thankful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Williams. And God, last question.
Yes, last question. Sir, talaga naman din ito boling mo lalo pinagaling yung project sa Galileo World Project. Could it be possible that through your recommendation initiative we will have a permanent clinic or center for this coach like you? Would Dr. Jim willing to stay here?
Actually, we're trying to find out one for Dr. Williams. If it happens that he's going to marry from Dipolog, your dream will come true. That we will have Dr. Williams Center here in Dipolog.
Yeah, we are going to have a permanent clinical center for cleft and palate here in Dipolog.
Well, I actually, believe it or not, I have thought about something like that. There are some difficulties with that, though. If I did that, I would have to have a permanent Philippine medical license. And I've looked into that, and it's difficult to do. It's doable. Right now, however, we have so many missions in other places in the Philippines and other parts of the world that it's hard for us to think about settling down in one area right now. But as I get older, I might have to do something like that because my body might not tolerate years of this kind of travel. And if I feel myself wearing out too fast, I might have to think about one place. And this would be one place that would be a wonderful place to settle down. A great need here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have more things in other places in the Philippines, as long as you will come back to the Dipolog and stay here.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll consider that as an official thought.
Okay, we would like to get the parting words and statements from Dr. Williams and Mr. Lyndon Sidiet because they will be excused from our discussion later because they have also other appointments to attend to. So we'll start off with Mr. Lyndon Sidiet, please.
I'd like to thank Edith again and of course my friends here in Kapihan for having us and telling the good news and sharing the future mission again next year, March 7. We'll have another mission, March 7. We hope to master the health of everyone, to find patients. We never limit ourselves of how many patients we have because we believe that Dr. Williams will, as long as God gives him long life, he will operate all those patients. That's all.
Okay, Dr. Williams?
Well, for people who don't know, it's hard to really explain, but there are so many people that are involved in the success of this mission. For example, well, first of all, Governor Uy. Governor Uy, there's a lot to think about when inviting a medical mission to come, but Governor Uy has been extremely supportive. He's made the hospital available to us. So the local government is important. The local people, the Rotarians here, have been just a critical part of this mission. You wouldn't believe everything that they've done. This year they were able to put us up all in their homes, so we didn't have to spend the money on that. They spent actual money on the patients themselves. They gave us food in the hospital when we were operating. The whole club was involved in that. We saw many different Rotarians at the hospital there helping. And then there are people like you, Edith, who you help. We know that the Rotarians asked you, and I talked to you about advertising to find patients. Actually, finding the patients, believe it or not, is one of the greatest challenges. They're out there. Many of them don't have TVs or radios. Many of them live way back in the mountains. To find these children and let them know, let their parents know about the mission is a huge challenge. But, and then of course my medical team. We work past midnight. Most nights, we work past midnight every night. Not every night, but most nights we work past midnight. And their commitment is just undying. And their skills in providing a safe surgery, safe anesthesia, safe post-operative care, my team has really pulled through. They're all Filipinos, by the way. The speech therapy team are Americans, but the surgical team, the anesthesiologists and the nurses are all Filipinos. And so their dedication is really a crucial component of this too. If any one of those people would have decided to drop out or not be involved, the mission would have been less successful. So thank you to all those people. Many of them are not here, can't hear my words, but they have been a crucial part. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much, Dr. Geoff Williams. God bless you more. And thank you for loving our children here in our place. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. You can always email. Okay. Thank you so much. Atong i-excuse si Dr. Geoff Williams o si Mr. Lyndon Sidiet, no? Hopefully, in the next years to come, mabalik. Si Captain Gaza is also a Rotarian. Mr. Lyndon Sidiet, he's a Rotarian. Okay, so thank you so much sa ato ang mga bisita, no? God bless you more, guys. Okay, email, yeah. Okay, thank you. God bless you. And then, karon, dili na pa manosblit. Hindi na ka magbibisaya o magpinagalog. Kay manosblit na pa ato kanunay, no? May gani kay nauna sila kataw. Ibisip ka. So, very please. Very please. Voucher. So, before kami proceed sa other half of our public affairs program, ato nang ibalik ni Edgar para sa commercials na to. Para full throttle ahead na ta, no? Okay, so guys, go ahead please.
Maraming salamat din ako ng pasalamatan ng atong mga sponsors. Pagkain na ito kalugupan sa Tribunal ng Kapihan sa Dipolog. First and foremost, ang atong official video sa Kapihan sa Dipolog ang Hotel Camila 1. Dinisdalan General Luna ng Hotel Kapihan sa Dipolog. Pinay niya nimutan ang Sunburst Fried Chicken. Sunburst Fried Chicken, ground floor, Hotel Camila 1 ng Hotel Kapihan sa Dipolog. Kamu diri mga sida, ada pangitaglayan pa, diretso, dada, diri na sa Sunburst Fried Chicken sa Hotel Camila ng Hotel Kapihan sa Dipolog. Dinisdalan General Luna ng Hotel Kapihan. Of course, kung pasalamatan ng mga radio station sa tatak RMN, radyo mo nationwide. Ang DSDN 981 ang 94.1 IFM sa RMN Dipolog ang atong website sa www.rmn.weebly.com worldwide sa atong live streaming. Dito ko pasalamatan ang Janus Marketing at ang ABC President Honorable Janus Yu. Namutan sa Kitchen Avenue, Dipolog City. O matawag sa telephone number 212-1148. Dahil nasalamatan na ito, Most Honorable Sunil O. Angeles, ang itong Vice Gobernador o Presiding Officer sa Kunyang Panlalawigan sa Bongga del Norte. Nato sa Honorable Julius Napikit, ang Presiding Officer for Temple sa Kunyang Panlalawigan sa Bongga del Norte. Honorable Board Member Honorable Romulo Sulida, Chairman sa Committee on Finance and Appropriations sa Kunyang Panlalawigan sa Bongga del Norte. City Councilor, the only living lawmakers in the City Council of Dipolog, City Councilor Honorable Attorney Jasmine Pinsoy. Ato sa pasalamat kay City Councilor Attorney Gina Gudo na Bikid sa Bunyang Panguso Dipolog City. Atong Board Member Second District President sa Regional Board Members 3 ng Philippines Pangay sa Kapihan sa Dipolog, Honorable Rodrigo Lee. Ato sa Panis Kaubague. Pasalamat usab nato na sa atong Penro kang Mr. Nelson Velasco, Provincial Environment Natural Resources Officer Penro sa President Dipolog City. Kang Honorable Judge Municipal Fire Court Branch 2 si Honorable Judge Kenneth Puruzan. Ay pasalamat nato sa City Councilor Atty. Robin Ligonia na panilis usab sa Kapihan sa Dipolog. Kang Mr. Muhammad Gazana Jr. atong Provincial Agrarian Report Project Officer 2 Department of Agrarian Reform sa Dipolog City. Pasalamat sa Mr. Jupri Sayas ang atong Senro DNR sa Dipolog City. Alcohol sand and gravel, beer sand and gravel, o building materials sa pantala o kaniguta o clay, o nasa kanya mga hollow glass, concrete mixer, concrete vibrator, tayo tayo lamang sa Ibuno Bond Barrera na matawag sa telephone number 212-3266 makalaan alcohol sand and gravel. Mayroon ng dito sa MGCP, hindi kakat sa transmission tower o gabaw ng dili, mangawa kung kuryente, pinagin sa pagkamit sa jumper aron dili makuryentiran. Mahinog doon ka na sa MGCP, National Grid Corporation, pinagin na ang Ma'am Butchay Lagaga, Corporate Communication Affairs Officer sa MGCP, Kaluan Leoro. JP Fruit Nursery and Lumber Dealer, may mutang sa barangay ng nasa ng ilang Fruit Nursery. O nasa ng lumber yard sa Dallas, dito na kaya sa Dipolog. Pinagyan ng Mr. Porferio Necessario. Pasalamat ko sa mga ito ng Ma'am ng Indigan Bayubay, CC5 o CC6, no? OIC Provincial Schools Division Superintendent, Department of Education sa Bongga del Norte. Katong level ASU1, hindi na sa Department of Playboy Dolly sa Pudo, Sankong, na sa Mr. Henry Canero, na bago lang nag-birthday. Hindi sa ko. Happy birthday niya Sir Henry yan sa Pulo, Hong Kong. Ito itong pasalamatan. Okay? Okay. Ang gabi na itong pasalamatan mo ang Roy Plaza. Roy Plaza, itong nagbayan na ibalo karon. Ito wala pa kapalit kung regalo sa inyong mga bagong nagsabi. At SBI bago lang nagsabi doon, no? Balik nyo ito. Ang Roy Plaza nag-open karon sa laptop. Laptop na barato lamang. Alala magpilitan sa 13,999. Libre na ang printer na HP o mag-laptop ba? Kaya sa Roy Plaza. Roy Plaza, kabilang sa high-end cellphones, mga smart cellphones, tablets, notebook o uban pa. Mga ka ang Roy Plaza. Ito sa good IT center, alam sa mga likod bateriya ng pagdanglan, ng mga vulcanizing winds. June Vic, Tiger Center sa Dalang Quezon na ito nagbayan. Si atong wind sa College of Law sa Rizal Memorial State University, kanang Congressman Antonio Rosilian Matul Barinaga, nagpalusag ng palaguban sa tunong kapihan sa Dipolog. Ang DCIT nag-offer karon sa Junior Aero Technician, Aeronautical Technician, nakakapilay sa High School of Work and College. Ito pinakabos paghihapon ng closure crew sa Katbayan, DCIT. Masarap ang LC Electrotech na nalimutan sa highway dinaw na ito Katbayan sa Dipolog. Nangita ka sa mga radio, signals radio, na water resist na LC Electrotech, highway dinaw na ito Katbayan sa Dipolog. Ang Lopi Sand and Gravel, alam sa Sand and Gravel needs, hollow block usap na, tawagan sa telephone number 9080196, Lopi Sand and Gravel, nasa hollow block. Head to tool. Ang head to tool na limutan sa Dalang Bonifacio, pilit naman sa Titilang Pagkakbayan sa Dipolog. Let the beauty out in you by head to tool. Ana diyan limutan sa Bonifacio Street na Pagkakbayan sa Dipolog. Ipalisa kita may kumabutan sa Metro Shoppers o Metrocom, Metro Shoppers sa Dalang Rizal, Metrocom sa third floor sa Plaza Mall. Alam sa mga high-end gadgets, mga kitchen utensils, sugutan sa pagkananon sa Panimalay, na din sa mga laptop, netbook, smartphones, nasa Metro Shoppers o Metrocom. Fun World, bring the family, enjoy, have fun, eat and dine. Dito sa Fun World sa Dipolog Boulevard, Government's Business Center sa Dipolog Boulevard. Ay masabda, ato pasalamatan ang Gloria Dinapitan. Sa magkaroon panayin pa ang atong showing sa Gloria Dinapitan sa Pia Cinema, ang Pia 7 o You're My Boss. Ito sa Pia 213. Ito sa Gloria Dinapitan sa Pia Complex. Fantasyland, alam mga bagyang rides, dalang buong pamilya o pag-enjoy. Let the child out of you sa Fantasyland. Alam sila niya mga pagkaon nga mga seafoods ang inatulang dito sa kapitan ng Common Park, inatulang restaurant o dampa. Tingnan lang dito sa Katbayan sa Dapitan. Bakit hindi nila sa mga nagpaluyo sa atong panagudan sa tulmanon na kapihan sa Dipolog. Pagkatapos ito ay balog na nasa yung mga DSF radio, mga DSF at DSF radio sa Roy Plaza. Alam sa mga NPC license clinics na mga radio. Installed at sila o mga base, towers, subukan pa nga binyo pagtugot sa National Telecommunications Commission. Pagmakinig din nila sa mga nagpaluyo sa atong panagudan sa tulmanon kapihan sa Dipolog. Live din na sa Sunburst Party sa ground floor Hotel Kabila, Dalag General Luna, at Katbayan sa Dipolog. Balik ka sa pumabisita sa kapihan sa Dipolog.
Thank you so much, Edgar. Ngayon, atong ipasalamatan ang pag-aridiri ni Dr. Jock Williams, American Surgeon, gikan sa United States of America. And then, of course, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Executive Assistant of the Office of the Provincial Governor, si Mr. Robert Pinsoy. Ngayon, bumayot na kita sa discussion, karugutala sa atong kapihan sa Dipolog. Kauban ang atong OIC Provincial Director sa Philippine National Police, na si Sir Redentor Retesto, ingon man si Captain Ryan Braza sa 101 Brigade sa Philippine Army nga nagabati sa Dipolog sa Buanga del Norte. First question will come from Julio Salaveria, and then later after Julio, si Board Member Emilio Willie. George, go ahead please.
Okay, dito sa atong diskutan ng kahapsay o kalinaw na ato ang sa Philippine National Police o sa Philippine Army, isip mga ordinary nga citizens diri sa ato ang probinsya, makadumdum ko many years ago na nainag po sila diri sa bus terminal, police daw o military. Then ang mga mahisgot sa tao is because lagi ko may clash ang army o ang police, but it's kwanto tagapagadian daw sa Zamboanga del Sur. And then nakikita ko po na sa Mama Sapano that there's problem in coordination. And so ang akong question is related to that. Kung dili pa sa scope nato sa province, unsa may assurance namo ng mga tao na kung naay mga problema, nag-coordinate gipod ang National Police ug ang Philippine Army. There was a question man doon ko sa una nung katong sa Sierra Osmeña, nahitabo pag-ulang na pangutan ako, kinsa ato mas scope katong kung rebelde nga na Sierra Osmeña sa PNP or sa Philippine Army. So, kana ang ato ang gusto masayra makatawhan na asa ba ang limitasyon sa kada usa o kung naapay medyo kana malibog kang sitwasyon, who will coordinate with whom? Kinsay mo initiate ina ng mga problema.
Okay. Who answer first? Si P.D. Ritosto. And then Captain Braza pang 101 Brigade. Go ahead, sir, please. Bisaya, Tagalog. Okay, sir. Go ahead. Okay. Yes, sir. In a nutshell, what is the relationship between the Philippine National Police and the Philippine Army here in the province of Zamboanga del Norte? Protocol, yes.
I'm warning to everybody. As ever since that I was assigned here in Zamboanga del Norte, we have a vigorous and renewed coordination with our counterparts there. And as you could see,